Hello, welcome to the Daily Live Extra. Me and Cam, we're going to talk about Kelechi Iheanacho, who was being linked with Everton today. A few people in the comments will be very happy with that link. They have been banging a drum for him for a couple of weeks. Obviously, Leicester City relegated, which means that he is available reportedly at a fee of around £10 million. 26, I thought he was a bit older than that actually, but 26 years of age. Cam, what are your initial thoughts on Kelechi Iheanacho?
Well, my initial thoughts when you just told me 5 minutes ago was another striker we've been linked with, another forward. Is there anything in this one? Yeah, I feel like we are in danger at the moment of being in that sort of feeling of just, yeah, go on, get him in, because who else are we going to get in? Because obviously there's been so little activity and there's been so little going on. The Nonto stuff, I think, is starting to grind on people in terms of how long it's gone on for, and we seem to be getting a lot of information but no information at the same time. It's a lot of the same recycled stuff day in, day out. So would I have Iheanacho? £10 million, a lot of money given our financial position and financial situation. Obviously in the grand scheme of things, £10 million isn't an awful lot, but where we are now, you would probably assume that that's a fair whack of the transfer budget gone on one player. I actually don't mind Iheanacho, you know. He impressed me obviously massively when he was a kid at City, and when he went to Leicester, I know he was in and out of that side, and you could argue that, you know, he was not a regular starter in a team that ultimately went down, and that being a bad sign. But every time I watched him for Leicester, he seemed to do well. He was active in front of goal. He can score goals. He can put the ball away. He's proven goal scorer in the Premier League. Is the better out there? Yes. And I think the frustrating thing is, I think you spoke about it the other day, is our eyes are so focused on players that have played in the Premier League before that could we go and get a better younger striker for £10 million abroad? Probably, yeah. Probably you could come in and do the same thing as Iheanacho, but we don't tend to do that. We don't tend to focus our attention there. So, you know, in comparing him to other players that we've been linked with, I don't think he'd be the worst signing in the world. I wouldn't mind him, but again, I wouldn't be sitting here. Similarly to Damari Gray, really. I don't think it'd be the worst signing in the world, but I wouldn't be sitting here, you know, cracking the champagne open, jumping around, celebrating if we signed him. But ultimately, is he better than Neil Maupay? Is he a better goal scorer than Neil Maupay? Yes. Is he something different to Dominic Calvert-Lewin? Yes, he is. But again, it's just, do you not just find it all tedious at the moment, these links to various different players? And then, you know, we'll probably hear on Wednesday that we've bid for Nonto, and then on Thursday we'll hear we haven't bid for Nonto again. It's just, I just want something to happen now. Speaking yesterday, and I said it's getting to the point where if Nonto isn't going to happen, we need to sort of move away from that now. We can't sit for another 2, 3, 4 weeks on the basis that he might come in. He mightn't come in, because then if he doesn't come in, we're in the position where we're scrambling around for players, and on the last couple of days of the transfer window, the season starts in 25 days, something like that now. So we just need to get business done. And would I be happy with just Iheanacho as our only forward signing? Probably not, no. But if we get another one or two, maybe, then he doesn't seem too bad for me.
So it is an interesting one. I mean, it's a player who has scored 76 goals in 270 games. In the Premier League for Leicester, he's got 30 goals in 150 appearances, 1 in 5. Not really what Everton would be looking for. I get people will come back to me and say, yeah, but how many has he started? Like, how many minutes has he played? Because that's a better indication, I guess. But I think we're in a position right now, and I'm not kind of saying we should or we shouldn't with him. Do you know what I mean? I don't know whether we should. I want Boniface, but depending on how much money he's going to cost. Nonso, would he be a good signing? Who knows? Who knows, really? Full of promise, which is all you can look at, really, isn't it?
He didn't exactly light the league up last season, did he? He scored that worldie in the cup against Leicester, was it? And he done well. He looked
Cardiff,
good.
Wasn't it?
Cardiff, was it? Potential.
Tremendous goal,
yeah. But again, I feel like we are in the territory of being mixed up in this thought that Wilfred Nonto will come in and we'll be sound. Like, if we sign Nonto, we'll be all right. We'll definitely stay up. He'll bring the goals, and that's not guaranteed. Obviously, he's got a lot of potential, and he done well in his first season. But he got 4 goals, was it? In
all competitions.
So what's the guarantee that he's going to get You know, we had that risk last season with Dwight McNeil, who fortunately for us was big and scored a lot of goals towards the end of the season. But you know, I sat here this time last year and we had the conversation about Dwight McNeil, and I said, "Oh, we might hit 10," and rightly so. It was sort of laughed at because he'd scored he got one the previous year, on the previous year, 1 assist, 0 goals, 1 assist the previous year, whatever it was. So, can we afford to really take that risk again? If you get Gnonto and Iheanacho, then you obviously are adding your options. But again, financially, how viable is that? He had a spell, didn't he, not so long ago, Iheanacho, where he was in the Leicester team and he was playing well, scoring goals. But this is the market in which we're operating.
Going through his Premier League career, Manchester City 2015-16, 8 in 26 games. The year later, he got 4 in 20. This is all Premier League. Then he moved to Leicester, 3 in 21, 1 in 30, 5 in 20, then 12 in 25 in 2021, 4 in 26, 5 in 28. So it's not exactly massively
similar
inspiring.
to Demarai Gray, isn't it?
Is it?
And I think that's another sort of angle to the whole situation. Is it's so easy to look and go, well, yeah, if we get a bid for Demarai Gray, sell him. But then we would have to replace Demarai Gray as well. We already need, for me, 1, maybe 2 strikers and a winger just in those attacking areas.
No, absolutely.
And if we lose Demarai Gray, then that becomes 2 wingers and 2 strikers. So again, it's difficult.
Don't forget some of these players, and we'll just have to accept it, we will get on deadline day.
Yeah.
We just got to accept it. But where we are, some will be loans. We've got 4 loan slots. So I imagine they'll try to use every loan slot.
You should do.
You should do it with players you can get in your team. Yeah. Not for Nagries, who were just there as a by the way.
We did say that though about January's transfer deadline day, and we all sat here for 15 hours and nothing happened.
I know. I thoroughly believe that Everton will have signed 6 players at least by the time the window shuts, because basically they need to.
Yeah.
So I think that's the way it is. I think there's the television money arrives the middle of August, which means that there's an extra pot of cash. If MSP, I believe, is edged a lot closer. That's what I've been told. Not sure when that'll actually happen, but I believe it's quicker than what they initially thought. So what that might do, while it won't be someone coming in and going, there's 100 million, what it would do will be a pot of money, some of which can become the cash option right now.
Yeah.
So you might have like 50 million or 60 million you can spend over the year. You can allocate some of that right now as cash if you've got it. Whereas Everton might have 60 million they can spend this in the next 12 months, but they haven't really got the cash to do it right now. That MSP thing, if it did happen,
allow that to happen,
would bring some cash in right now, and
that's down payments and stuff.
Exactly, and I think that's what's hampering Everton right now is the down payments for these players. I don't think it's the fee. The fee you can amortise over a contract, but if you ain't got the cash to put up the first part of the payment,
then you can't get the player.
You're knackered. Yeah. And therefore, hopefully, if MSP thing does get sorted soon, then Everton might have the cash to start putting down payments on players, with therefore being able to get them over the line. Because at the moment we're probably going around everywhere and going, we can't really give you any money other than this at the moment, and clubs are probably just like, well, we come back with double that as a down payment, or we're not doing it. We're happy with the deal. We're happy with whatever.
But we need the money up front.
But we want some money up front. And until we can come up with that, we can't do much about it. You know, you've seen West Ham. I know it's a different position, but we've seen West Ham who just won the Conference League going, can't sign anyone until we sell Declan Rice. Newcastle now saying with all their money we actually can't sign. We don't know whether we can sign anyone else till we sold someone.
Yeah.
Things like that. So it's not just an Everton issue, but the problem is Everton are way further back than those.
More
clubs.
Desperate for players.
We are desperate, so that's the problem we have, isn't it, right now?
Yeah, definitely. And again, as you said, I think there was an article yesterday sort of flirting with the idea of needing to sell in order to buy, and whilst there's a load of players in the current squad that you'd look at and you'd go, well, yeah, sell him. You know, the Mason Holgate story last week, it's so easy to look and go, yeah, we'll sell Mason Holgate, but then you forget that we've already lost Yerry Mina and Connor Cody from last season's squad, so that's 2 centre-halves gone. You sell Mason Holgate, and whilst that would bring in an influx of cash, which we may then be able to spend, we'd have to spend it on a centre half because, you know, as of now, we're going into next season with Michael Keane as one of our 2 centre halves, or Ben Godfrey, both of whom were heavily underwhelming last season. So, again, it may just be a case of waiting, and maybe this is the period where we're sort of flirting around with options for the time that we get that money in that we can then spend. It's dangerous, but it is what it is. It's where we are, aren't we? We ultimately, I think, as much as it's a little bit worrying at the moment, and maybe we're getting a little bit impatient and anxious about it, if we've got those players in come the deadline, that's all that matters. And I suppose the big question and worry is that we've said that before in years gone, and we haven't had them players in on the deadline, and then we've all sat there for the last 3 months of the season or the whole season, you know, worrying with our head in our hands. But you know, if we are going to bring them in, I'd like it to be done sooner rather than later. But if it can't be done, then it can't be done. And 10 million quid is an awful lot of money for the position that Everton are in at the moment for a fella that averages 4 or 5 goals a season over the last 5-6 seasons. All right, he had that one great season, but what's to say he's going to get to that again? But then again, we spent that money on Neil Maupay, who probably averages around about the same amount. So it wouldn't surprise me.
It is a little bit mad. Gary Walters, hello. David Green, afternoon, guys. Congratulations on the 80,000 subs. All down to everything you're doing. The great content. Thank you, David. Much appreciated. Glenn says, what do you call a cheese that isn't yours? Nacho cheese. It's fair play. Classic.
It is classic.
Martin Kitney says, congratulations on the 80,000. Fully deserved. Thanks, Martin. Alex says, afternoon, lads. Caught up on the live at 5 this morning. Found what you were saying about Football Manager and Rooney using them. Very interesting. I still play the game, and I play as Everton. I try to play it as we should try to operate in real life, buying potential, improving, selling on, lowering the wage bill along the way. Granted, I'm a couple of years further along in the game, but was wondering if you know of any players. I have, as it's quite common, players with potential on the game move to top leagues in real life later down the line. For example, Arda Güler has been one of the best prospects in the game for a couple of years, and he's just signed for Real Madrid. Fabiano Parisi, left-back, just signed Fiorentina for 10 million. Adrian Truffert, left-back at Rennes. Yeah, Arthur Thiat, centre-back at Rennes. Joseph Sutalo, centre-back, Zagreb. Ivan Fresneda, right-back at Sociedad. Andre, centre-midfielder at Fluminense. Martin Baturina, centre-mid, Dynamo Zagreb. Arsen Zacharian at Dynamo Moscow. Yeah, know a few of them. And they are highly rated, particularly Truffert is very highly rated at Rennes. Yeah, I mean, listen, the reason why that game has been so successful is because those players are actually scouts.
Because there's so much thought that goes into it.
There's so much thought into it, and they actually use scouts who they look at it. That's what they do. So,
it is incredibly difficult, by the way, to do a Football Manager, the most recent game with Everton. We've got about £4.50 to spend. It is, and it is very realistic because clubs just come back and go, "Nah, you're all right. You're all right." It's shocking. I remember
that's the game, though, isn't it?
But that's real life. That's what you want, isn't it? That's what you want, and you know, you have to explore some of the options. Did you see that story about Kouyaté in Football Manager a couple of years ago? And some fella signed, you know, Kouyaté plays for Everton, scored, and some fella signed him on Footy Manager and then met him in Subway the day after.
Yeah. That's tremendous. Good goal, though, Friday, wasn't it?
It's good. It's good.
Belter goal.
Good effort,
as he saved us, £32 million.
No.
Okay. I asked you the question, you've answered it. Fair play.
It's a good finish, but he got caught on the ball a couple of times, didn't he?
He did have that great goal, where he skipped past.
He did, yeah, and he got fouled.
Yeah.
He did. We'll get him in then. Why not?
Play him.
Why not? Get him.
I know. Yeah, absolutely, on Friday. James Warland says, well done to the whole team at Toffee TV on reaching 80k. Big thank you for all the work you've done over the past year. Thank you for your support, James. Much appreciated. Jack says, good afternoon, lads. In response to Baz yesterday about Rooney, the post I read, it was a thing called Joe, that joe.co.uk had posted. Although it's a mad rule, it probably would have prevented Dan Juma's scenario with us if we had the same rule. There's the link. I'll check that. I'll read that in a minute, mate. Cheers. Michael Rafferty says, yes, please, I like him, to Iheanacho. Georgie Redden says, Iheanacho is another Aruna Kone.
Hey, listen, Aruna Kone had a run in our side that I'd snatch your hand off for next season. Remember him and Rom for like about 4 weeks when he was just assisting and scoring.
Peak, wasn't it?
Did he score a hat-trick against Sunderland, Kone?
Peak.
And Rom curled it in with the outside of his foot. Kone was. It was about
peak.
4 years after we signed him, but he
Remember Kone bullied the shite out of us at Wigan. We drew 2, but he bullied us. He was like knocking defenders out the way. He got injured, didn't he? He got the knee injury, which destroyed his knee. Classic Everton. And then he come back and he just didn't have the pace. But at times he was all right.
He was sharp, yeah. He was sharp.
The problem was with him, if we'd have played like a 4-4-2 or a 3-5-2, he wouldn't have been as bad. But Martinez was obsessed with playing centre forward that couldn't run on the left wing. Remember Sammy Eto'o? He had Sammy Eto'o and played him on the left wing, wanting them to do doggies.
Have you heard the story?
Just play him up front with Rom. But you know where he's amazing.
Why give him number 5 as well? That was shocking.
Was terrible.
That was disgusting.
That was terrible. I want some people need to be brought to account here. I'm sorry, they do.
We had a Ballon d'Or winner.
We had
sat on the
won the Ballon d'Or. He'd scored goals with the outside of his foot. He deserved a better number. We brought in James Rodriguez and wouldn't give him the number 10 for a fella that liked 18 better anyway. Do you know what I mean? We didn't play. We hadn't never even played anyway. Know what I mean?
Eto'o was shocking. Number 5. We give him a centre half number.
Nathan Patterson, number 3. He's a right back.
Number 2, yeah.
Tarkowski, what number, John? I like number 2, you know. I don't care, mate. You're a centre back. You're not having it. 6, give him. That's what he should do. Strip him. No. Yeah, put him in the ice bath. No, this has got to stop.
No, that was a shocking.
This is the reason. This has got to stop.
We do get what we deserve in many.
We do. We need to start acting properly. Going right. You're a right back. You're number 2. You're a left back. You're number 3.
Number 3, yeah.
Michaelenko, whether you like him or not, you're left back. Number 3.
Remember when there was that big rumour that we wouldn't give anybody the number 3 because of Baines? And that was why Michaelenko didn't get it, and that was it. It was like, we won't get the number 3, just won't be used again. And
maybe they just want him, like, the next one who's number 3, they want him to be, like, amazing to go, all right, you can have 3 now.
And yeah, or the left back.
Micho's all right. We're not having this. We're changing.
The 5 one is...
We're changing the editorial on this channel.
That's a good question, actually. Let's put it to the comments. Weird Everton squad numbers for players. The Sammy Eto'o one was...
Sammy was a disgrace.
Let's shot him. Number 5.
You can't even buy that shirt like as a commemorative thing.
No.
Because it's crap.
No, you can't have a Ballon d'Or winner who's a striker wearing number 5. You can't. You can't. You just give him like 99. I know the Premier League had that. The Premier League with Mona, man. You can't have that. I just said, well, we can't. Just to give him.
Yeah.
Why? Again.
Why
the hell
just say the Kone? You're not having it.
Why did he get it in the first place? You've got to earn that. You've got
Sandro. Oh my God, Sandro. I forgot about Sandro.
No, and again, nothing against Sandro, right? But we brought this kid in from Spain. 21, we signed a boy from Chelsea or whatever, Malaga. Right, we brought him in. Why don't we just put all the pressure on him? Have number 9.
Speaking about, remember Gordon got 10 for about 3 weeks.
Gordon got 10 star boy.
Gordon got 10 after having 4 good games.
We tried to sell him in August. we gave him it in July and almost sold him in August. It was amazing. Everton, come on.
Do we have a number 10 now?
Be better, Gordon.
We don't have a number 10. We don't have a number 10, no. No.
We're trying to give it to someone who we may then sell again.
Give it to Ashley Young.
Give it to Ashley. Might have sold them by the January 31st or whatever.
It's a Joel Robles.
Hey, Joel.
Keep number 10.
Joel's available.
He's gone.
Saudi?
Does he, yeah. Well, it's a shame.
I had a hope he was coming back as the number 2.
As the number
with
10.
His new hair. As the
number 10.
Number 10 up front. Joel Robles.
Number 4, 3. Mason goes.
Yeah, Holgate's gone, mate.
Right.
Holgate is gone.
That'll be a left winger.
He's gone.
That's Iheanacho.
He's gone. Holgate's gone.
Number 11 when
Kevin Morales
Can we have
goes.
Kevin Morales?
Kevin Morales, yeah.
When who goes?
Damari Gray.
Damari Gray going, yeah.
Be great to
So
give
Holgate
11
4.
to a centre half.
Holgate's going. That'll be 4. We'll have a 6 available.
Yeah.
Who's
6, 10.
10.
Still got 10.
10 and
11.
11. You see, Dwight McNeil should really be 11.
Yeah, and then 3 up to 7.
3 up to 7 for the right winger.
That makes
go
more
old
sense.
school.
Yeah.
Let's start doing things like we used to. We might actually start being average. Know what I mean?
Who could be the number?
it's a
What was
wacky
McGeady 7?
Aidan McGeady. Step over and clip it back stiff.
Joe Virginia and Andy Lonergan are both 31.
The what sharing the names, sharing the number. Yeah, lads, I'll wear it
Is
today.
Billy Crellin 31 as well, by any stretch?
Incredible
Is right.
times. Incredible.
Right, 2 goalkeepers,
Incredible.
31.
What can you do?
Give Big Jazza Banthwaite.
Give him number 6.
Give him the 6, yeah. He wants.
Straight
He'll
passes
get
now.
11.
Banthwaite's getting a 10. What are you on about? And then he'll just never play. Neil says, why do you think Everton stopped the Everton magazine you used to get each month? What a question, Neil.
Do you know who could
I've
get
no
6
idea.
on the thing? Garner.
I don't think he wants it though, does he?
Well, probably not, but no, we're back in that territory. So
Yeah.
You're contracted, you're
Give
getting
him,
a
like,
6,
give
you'd look
him-
cool.
What number is he at the moment?
27.
27, yeah. Was he 27 last
So
time?
what's Garner then?
No,
Fuck
he
Garner.
was 17 when he first
Give him
came.
17 again.
Carter
What, when a
Wobie's got
Wobie
it.
Oh, give him
That's his
Wobie.
brand,
Give
isn't
him
it?
everybody.
Tell everyone.
No, give him Wobie.
What's
11.
Garner now?
27.
27.
No, I'm talking about James Garner.
James Garner is...
21.
No, that's...
No, he's 30.
37 he is. He's 30.
37.
So give James Garner the 6.
Yeah.
The Arteta.
That makes sense.
Yeah, give James Garner the 6.
Okay.
Ashley Young's not
Give him
38.
Wobie 11. When Thingy goes,
Yeah,
Gray
yeah.
goes, give him
Yeah.
Wobie 11. Give Garner 17 again. Roll back the years.
I know if he plays
Get a
like he
Bruna
did.
Cone. Mate, go and get Enna Valencia.
Is this our tactic
Yeah,
for next year?
Valencia to give
Confuse
the
the
other-
opposition
Yeah.
with new numbers.
Just new numbers.
It
It's a
does.
great way
Who
to
am I
do it.
marking? 17? Who is he? Who is he? I don't know what I'm doing.
Sandro's back.
Considering Samuel Eto'o didn't know anybody that worked at Everton at the time, it is mad who gave him that number 5.
Who decided?
Who said, yeah, that's a great number.
Martinez.
I'd like to know how he felt when they gave him number 5. He just went,
Yeah,
What's worse is Delhi was 20 and they took it off him and give it to Mopai.
yeah. So he's now
That's
left. So
atrocious,
he's now
that,
720.
That's
That
atrocious.
is so
Delhi had that on
Delhi.
when he was sub against like Villa and that, and then Mopai had it on a few weeks later. That's a disgrace. Sucked it. The shirt was still warm.
Mopai number 10. Mopai number 10.
Nice. Where are we? James says Iheanacho on 80 grand a week. There must be better options in Europe.
He
Gotta
wouldn't
be.
be earning 80 grand a week at Everton.
Fred Poole says I got a mate who's a Leicester fan, and he says Brendan Rodgers misused Iheanacho. Okay.
He hadn't taken the bins out.
So, yeah.
Neil says congratulations for 80,000. Cheers, mate.
Nice one,
Carl
mate.
says Nonso's too small. The same issue we have with Bernard. I don't think I can cope. This window every day is more painful. He's quicker than... I love Bernard, by the way. But he is quicker.
He's a lot younger than Bernard.
He's
isn't he?
quicker than Bernard, and he is a bit stronger. He's got more meat on him than what Bernard has.
So I was watching a highlights reel of Bernard the other day, and the dangers these highlights reels, you know, like because you actually find yourself watching 3 minutes and going, "Why did we ever sell him? He was boss." And he-
Hey, one of the main issues, right, with highlight reels for players we've had in the last 5 years is they're all 3 minutes long. That's the problem.
Remember Nias? I genuinely convinced myself Nias was all right, and then he was.
We had a journalist tell us Nias was going to like the league.
Hey,
And then he was facing the wrong way at Finch Farm for his pictures.
Imagine
He's facing the wrong way, and he jogged
He
around
jogged
the centre
around.
circle.
Who jogs around with a pair of jeans and a shirt on round the centre? You walk out, clap,
Why
walk off.
did we not all just go?
We
Yeah.
should have not.
This
Well,
is
to be
gonna-
fair, some of my mates said after 20 seconds, he doesn't look like.
Remember, he didn't play for ages because of his wrist. We all thought he was going to be in the
worse than
starting
doing
11,
football.
and then it was just like, yeah, man, you're not going to see him for ages.
Got him in for Stoke away. He signed by the deadline because Martinez wanted him signed on the Friday deadline for
Something
Stoke.
going on there.
We went to Stoke the next day, won 3-0. He wasn't on the bench.
Joe, the irony of it is as well, you would have that Umar Nias in this current Everton team.
100%.
You would, exactly. He was laughed out, and he
was
he
sad.
scored with his ass. He scored
He was
with
the
everything.
most awkward
you'd have him.
player ever. But he
But
he scored
Yeah, he
goals.
would. He saved Ronald Koeman's career, but
Yeah, he did.
the
for about
15
2
minutes.
weeks.
Yeah.
Rondon the legend says afternoon everyone smash the like button. It's right, Rondon lad.
Well, he was 33, weren't he?
Professor Voltage says it'd be a terrific signing Iheanacho. Nail, what a name. Says the Harrison links have gone very quiet.
Give him 7.
Jack, 11.
11.
Damari will go,
11.
won't he? Damari Gray, if Saudi Arabian clubs offer him money like the rumours are, he'll go, won't he?
But then we have to replace him.
No, we do.
I think we can't get in the danger of now.
Keep selling.
Yeah, just keep selling.
anyone
players
building
and
the
not
money up?
replacing.
Building the money up.
Has anyone worked out how we're going to fill 2 sides on Saturday?
No.
Oh, shoot. The 21s are playing at Tranmere, aren't they?
And is there enough squad numbers for them?
No, no, but after 21s have been the first team squad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we just took 28, and it was 28-man squad went to Switzerland. You only need 15 at who be playing Saturday? Wigan and 15 at
28-man
Tranmere.
squad.
Haiti Pennypacker says Iheanacho is an average striker for me. Graham says, please, no, stop going for ex and current Premier League players.
I agree with that. On the average thing, do we have an average striker other than Dominic Calvert-Lewin? No. So, average is better than absolute garbage.
Minted Wallaby says, just seems depressing that everyone around us, even newly promoted teams, seem more desirable than Everton. Seems like no one actually wants to come. I honestly don't believe it's that, mate. I believe it's down to having actual cash for down payments for players. It's dead easy to sit here and go, I do it all the time, we should get him. That's fine. But if those clubs won't pay the terms that we've got, won't accept what we're offering, there's not much we can do about it.
Do you think, and we speak a lot about this just as Evertonians, generally the communication from the club to the fans being absolutely non-existent for the last however many years, but is there a world in which Everton come out and say, listen, this is what we are? Don't have to give specific details of how much we're going to bring in or that, but just a sort of a roadmap, a vague roadmap of, at this date, we'll have enough investment to be able to go out and do X, Y, and Z. Just some form of statement to make us go, right, okay, they're working hard and in a couple of weeks we'll be able to step up the...
No, because, I mean, I asked someone about this and they were like, well, we can't show our hand.
But they've surely showed their hand to every club anyway.
Anyway, are they?
The clubs will know.
They are working on deals, but it's terms, mate, isn't it? It's terms. That's the problem. You know, the Rodrigo thing, they had almost a loose agreement with him that he was happy with the terms, and then Al Ryan come in and were like, how much? Not still Ryan, because he'd have probably been able to offer more than Everton. But Everton had a deal, and they come in and went 220 grand a week.
Yeah, you can't.
So Everton are like, oh, yeah, that's a third of what we were offering, mate, and he's just gone there. So if those players go, I want this amount of money, what can you do?
Yeah,
you can't chase them by going, all right, we'll give you the 150. You can't do it. So I sympathise in some respects with the likes of Kevin Thelwell, because it must be incredibly frustrating to have deals almost in place, but
can't make them happen.
Can't do anything because we just don't have that cash. Yeah. What's really horrible is when you actually go back over like the last few years, we actually haven't spent any money.
No, we haven't. Our net spend is in the bottom three, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is mad, because whenever anybody that's not an Evertonian talks about Everton, it's always they spent £700 million recently, and all right, we have in terms of the last 10 years, but in the last 4 years,
but we've
spent nothing.
We also recouped like 550 million or something. Yeah. So it's actually nothing. But anyway,
that's not what the narrative is.
Exactly.
I'm not defending Everton there, by the way. I'm just
It's just facts, isn't it? Wormy Spoon says Iheanacho's a decent player. We're 10 goal involvements. He's better than Vardy on 200 grand a week. He's played second fiddle to Vardy without complaining. Not going to spend a better 10 million.
Bring them both in. Let's just go full Leicester.
Because they did so well.
Bring them both in and make a gold away kit.
That'd be alright. I mean, go down, but it'd be alright.
Yeah, but...
James 15 says Iheanacho lacks work rate and goals. Yeah, fair play.
So does the majority of our squad.
Wormy Spoon says Iheanacho's far better than Shea Adams. Cornelius Vanderbilt says, what a name.
What a name. That's a centre-half. That's a centre-half.
Centre-half.
It's a number 4.
Tremendous. Not about Everton, but I've just seen United are spending 120 million on Højlund and Onana. Why is there a myth that City ruin football with their spending and no one can keep up?
I had this conversation not so long ago. It's arrogance. It's arrogance from fans of Man United, Liverpool, somewhat maybe Chelsea, who think that they are the only clubs that should be able to win big silverware, and if anybody else does, it's because they've either cheated or spent loads of money or this, that and the other. The simple fact of the matter is Man United have spent more money than Manchester City in the last 7 years, and Manchester City have won countless league titles, a treble, FA Cups. Man United have won, a Europa League and an FA Cup and a Carabao Cup. That's all. There's no defence from a Manchester United fan when talking about Manchester City spending, because it's there. It's evident to be seen.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Leo Greenlees, what do you say to this one? We've tried Sandro, Nias, Bernard, Moise Keane. Who's the last player from a non-Prem club for cheap that's done something?
To come to Everton? From a non-Prem club for cheap that's done something. I just go straight back to like...
Damari Gray. 1.6 million from Leverkusen.
Suppose.
Oh, it's hard, isn't it? But what do we do then? Do we just keep going for Premier League players or whatever? Ones that are too expensive, wages are too high.
A non-Prem club, that is a little bit tricky. That our squad is majority of it is players that are playing the Prem. No, we don't.
Players, do we?
We don't. And it's mad that, because when you said that, I instantly thought, Arteta.
That's how far back you'd have to go.
Tim
Cahill
or players like that, and then you think actually, do you know what? When we used to do things relatively right and we were all right, that was what we did. We brought players in for cheap from not necessarily Premier League clubs that people didn't necessarily know an awful lot about, and they did well for us. We tried out the loan system with Manny Fernandes and players like that, but yeah, it is frustrating when you almost think of any sort of striker that is out of favour at one of the bottom 10 Premier League clubs and didn't do very well last season, and you think, well, that's probably who we're going to be linked with next, rather than somebody who is over in France or Spain or Germany or wherever else that might have had a decent season that we can go and take that risk on, which would cost an awful lot less money than Iheanacho for 10 million quid. I'm not having that. You can't get a 10 goal a season striker in another country for 10 million quid that would come in and just be happy to be playing in the Premier League. And as I said, we need to market Everton as a come here, do well for a couple of seasons, and then you can move on. And if you do well at Everton, and Everton in turn do well, case in point, Richarlison, John Stones, Romelu Lukaku, you will likely move on to a side that are playing Champions League football or in and around competing in the Champions League. Because that is historically what has happened when players have moved on to Everton, whether they've done well or not. If they've moved on because they've played well, they've moved on to the clubs that are in the European competitions.
Yeah.
Simple.
Absolutely. Adam M says players with the goal scoring record we'd like are out of our price range right now, and unless we sell someone for an inflated price, a player like Iheanacho is what we'll have to settle for. Not necessarily, because there's players in Europe. Akor Adams, he would need to have the edges taken off him. He's 23 and playing in Sweden. He's got 16 and 15 or 15 and 14 and like 12 assists or something crazy. He's a big unit, he can get around the pitch. Take a chance on him. Now, okay, he might not be at the level, but you probably get him for 5 or 6 million quid.
Yeah.
As
and
well
he
as
might be at the level.
And then someone else, Iheanacho might come in and be brilliant. He might, but he's on reported between 80 and 115 grand a week.
No chance.
So we can't be paying that
huge drop
for players. We just can't be.
You've got the physicality and the pace, and I always think with strikers, although it's the most difficult position to play in, if you can put the ball in the back of the net, then you will put the ball in the back of the net anywhere you are. If you want to play in the Premier League, obviously you've got to have the physicality, the pace, the ability to hold the ball up. But if we go and find a young striker in Europe that's got all that, then he will put the ball in the back of the net in the Premier League. He's only doing what he's doing elsewhere if he's got the ball at his feet. It's all the other little bits of the game that some strikers struggle on. They're not quick enough, they're not strong enough, they're not their football brain isn't good enough. But that's ultimately what scouts are paid money to be able to find, isn't it? And I'm not having that. There's not a single striker in the world that isn't as good as Iheanacho for that money.
No.
I'm not having it.
Absolutely. Mathew Ranton says we've got to spend wisely and get a forward in, thinking about the future too. Like people say, we could sell one of them for a profit. Absolutely. Blue says, great to see Cam on Toffee TV. Dan Goodman says, ooh, Cam's in. There you go.
Cam is him.
Tom says, been a while, Cam. How are we?
I'm surviving, mate. Surviving. How are we?
There you go. I mean, we'll have to wait for him to answer because, you know, this isn't like a Zoom
That's
call.
trust that he's all right.
Yeah, I think he's all right.
Right, yeah.
John Chadwick says, congratulations on the 80,000 subs. Cheers, John. Kevin says, we cannot go into the season without a striker and a right winger. We're dicing with death yet again. We need signing now, not at the end of the window. Absolutely, Kevin. When I was saying we'll sign players on deadline day before, I meant we will sign the end of the list. Then,
Yeah.
when we play Fulham, we simply have to have a centre forward in, and we have to. For me, we have to have a right winger in. Everton are working on deals right now. Cam's just said that there's 25 days before the season starts. They need to be done by hook or by crook. Everton need these deals done.
Imagine we done 5 on deadline day. Imagine the heat in this room if we done 5 deals on deadline day.
Incredible. The Blues says 6 sounds incredibly optimistic. Baz, well, we signed 8 last pre-season when we were told we weren't signing any.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
We've let about half a dozen go out already.
And
So Everton will sign 6 players.
5
Some will
more.
be loans.
Or 6 more.
At least 5 more.
5 more, okay.
At least 5 more.
Good.
That's what I think.
That's
We've
what
got
we
to.
need. Good.
We've got to. We're all ready.
There is no choice. It's not.
We're all ready. You know, Mina's gone.
Yeah.
Tom Davies is gone, whether you like that or not. Vanagri's gone. Cody's gone.
Yeah.
Straight off the top. Begovic is gone. Sims. There's 6 already. Right? And we were saying the squad wasn't good enough and needed additions.
And we were 20 minutes away from relegation with all of them players.
So, you know, Holgate will go. Damari Gray, I imagine, will go. If the bid comes in, he will go.
Iwobi, what do you think?
I think Iwobi will stay.
Do you?
I think
and sign a new deal? Or leave
I
for
think
free
he'll
next
just
year?
Go for free next year. I mean, I don't know. He could well sign a new deal, but that's just the way. That's where we are, isn't it?
What would you do if a bid come in? I don't know, 15 million quid tomorrow.
Sell him.
Would you?
Yeah.
What about if he said I'll sign a contract?
Oh, if he's going to stay.
Would you reject the 15 million?
If he was staying, yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, right, with Alex Iwobi is he's okay. No. He's a decent player, right? He doesn't score anywhere near enough goals, but he did get 8 assists last season, and he does create.
And he creates an awful lot.
He creates chances. If Everton had players who put the ball in the net in other areas, the reliance wouldn't be on him. It would be on him to create. So I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't give him a new contract that was over £100,000 a week because I don't think his numbers deserve it personally, and we have to start tracking the wage bill down. But if he was just signed for, say, similar what he's on now, wanted to sign a new deal, then I'd sign him. Of course I would. But if Everton got 15 million for him in the position we're in now, we'd have to sell him.
Would you?
Because we can't afford to let another person walk out the door for nothing.
I agree. So, say that scenario happens and we get that bid for Iwobi and then we also get a similar bid for Gray. Would you sell both? Given that will bring in a serious influx of cash, but we would then need to replace both of them players on top of.
Yeah, but if you've got money and you've got a list of players, if you can actually deal, as in you've got money, you can go and do it, you can get those players. There's still, the transfer window doesn't close till August 31st. Lots of players are out there. Lots of players are at clubs who will want them out the door. You know, look at people like Armando Broja at Chelsea. He's not even gone to the US with them.
No.
He's recovering, rehabilitating from his injury last season. He used to say Everton can't get him in 4 weeks on loan for the season. So he comes into the squad. He's a player who can go in and play up front, right through the middle. I actually think Everton will end up with Diallo from United.
Do you think?
Yeah. I think he'll go to, he is going to America with United. Ten Hag's gone and says him. I think Everton could well get him on loan. And he can play off the right-hand side. Scored goals last season for Sunderland. So you'll end up, I think, with players like that who are at clubs. And we have to just take our medicine with that and go, we just got to get to next summer, still be in the Premier League. I've had a better season than we've had this season. which means finishing higher, which means more money for places you finish higher, which means more money for the manager, going into a stadium at some stage next season with everything that brings, then we'll be in a better position. There's no point us stamping our feet and crying right now about where we are. We are where we are. We've been racing to this position, racing to the bottom with our actions. So we can sit here, like I said, and cry ass and moan about what we're doing, or moan about the lack of money or whatever. It is what it is. And we have to just go, we're in this position right now. And we're in this position because of our mistakes we've made previously. So let's just see what we can do. But we do need attacking players in right now. Otherwise we won't get out of it again.
No.
We won't survive 3 years on the run.
I don't think I can personally survive 3 years on the run.
So we need to do stuff. Dave says, hi, can I now just do the fancy watching from abroad post? Just arrived at our apartments in Altinkum in Turkey. Used an earlier tip and got the new home shirt at JD John Lennon for 50 quid, tax free. Excellent.
Sound.
Enjoy.
Absolutely sound.
Dave, how hot is it? Crazy hot in Turkey, or is that surviving without this ridiculously heat? I mean, it'll be hot anyway, Turkey, but is this heat wave going to affect it even more, or is it are you all right?
I'm intrigued by that PlayStation 5 box just off camera, boss.
PlayStation 5. It's for the PlayStation 5 that's over there. For a new season of a new series that's going to be happening.
Yeah.
So there you go.
A studio PS5?
Studio PS5 ready for the year.
Studio PS5?
Well, it depends.
That is gangster, that.
Takes it home. But it's ready for...
You both got one?
It's ready for... ready for work. It's ready for videos. Ready for
Spider-Man 2?
EAFC, sports,
yeah,
whatever. It's careers and stuff. Someone said Iheanacho's world class on his day. I don't know about that personally, but he scored some goals. Alan Armstrong says, Baz, completely off topic. Any chance there can be a Mersey Cup next season? We should reinstate the Mersey Cup. Play them on FIFA. We'll beat them on FIFA. Because Paul doesn't play. He plays, don't forget, he plays esports football. He plays the version of PES.
How can you still play football?
He said it's all right, it's getting better. So I'd have to give it a go. June says, Iheanacho's not good enough. None, so Everton needs to move away from his transfer and look elsewhere. Victor Boniface looks excellent prospect. Surely the recruitment team can identify another winger. Yeah, absolutely. Greg says, hit the 80k with all my burner accounts. It's right, Greg.
It's right. Greg on the burner.
Where are we? Yeah.
It's almost a sausage roll joke. Sausage roll.
Ned was trying to have a sausage roll before. I wouldn't let him have it.
Why?
Because it's a disgrace. Satoshi Corner says, congrats on the 80k. Thank you, mate.
Sausage rolls are a disgrace.
Yeah, you can't be doing them, mate.
Why?
They're not great.
Even warm ones?
Just any sausage.
Really? Yeah,
I'm
not a sausage roll guy, no.
I'd have it in an emergency.
Any pastry guy?
You know what? I genuinely don't have them. But no. if you said to me, right, go ahead, you can have a pasty or a slice, as they're called, aren't they? The lids. I'd probably have a little go of a steak slice with a little bit of brown sauce on the top, just for a bit of.
That'd do you for dinner,
I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't have it, but if I had to, that's what I'd eat. I wouldn't choose to have it, but I am, No,
brown sauce on a pasty or a sausage roll
is acceptable.
Is acceptable.
Would you have a cheese and onion pasty? Are they decent, or are you swerving that?
I've been
partook in the past.
Partaking in a cheese and onion. I just think they can sometimes be a bit too cheesy. I'm not a massive cheese fan unless it's with pasta.
The title not give it away?
No, it does, but
really.
No, it does, but it can be overpowering.
It's just a name, and it's not a title, is it? This is a cheese and onion pasty. It's not a bleeding.
It's Mr. Cheese and Onion Pasty. No, it did. I don't
or miss. Could be a miss.
Or miss, yeah. Or misses.
Could be. Could just identify as a pasty.
There isn't, yeah, there isn't.
Each to their own.
I like a Cornish pasty.
It's starting to look like a cheese and onion pasty, you know that?
If you identify as a pasty, you're a pasty.
Okay. Depressed Everton fan says, well done on the subs, lads. Love the channel. Nice one, mate.
Hey, spam is heavy. I will not have any negative said about spam. Spam chips and beans is phenomenal.
Joe 90 WC says, spread the word, let's get the 100,000. No, it's right. You'll see, Joe, you're my kind of guy. Or girl, could be a girl.
Parsley.
Eto in an Everton shirt is iconic.
It's ruined.
See, it is.
It's ruined.
We want him to have a better. We want him to have a better number, don't we?
What do you think the best thing he did in an Everton shirt was?
The goals at Burnley.
Do you reckon? Not the gallop over
Naughty.
Jackie Elka's volley at Anfield.
That was incredible.
gallop
That was incredible.
He rid an invisible horse as
He
Jackie
did.
Elka bolted one into
He
the top
did.
corner.
The best moving out the way of a shot, though, I have to credit Michael Oliver with Rooney's third goal against West Ham.
Oh,
from
yeah, the halfway line
The fact
one, yeah.
where he just went
Yeah,
full
yeah.
8-6, didn't he? And it went past. Tremendous.
Summit.
And Ogbono's little hand up
Yeah,
to try
try
to
and
stop
save
it.
it.
Like, oh, shall I? Oh, no, forget it.
Lars Oliver didn't sign that.
Flick it on. Detective Riggs said, did Eto pick the number 5 though? I actually think he did because we went, lads, you can have 73, 29, 46 or no number. And he just went, oh, lad, I'll have 5. There you go.
Why didn't he just say to Kone, lad?
But FGHHLJIFFD says, I get it's a show, but you are disrespecting Iheanacho. English fans are so arrogant for no reason. Iheanacho don't go to Everton. Why are we disrespecting him? I don't think there's been any disrespect to Iheanacho. We've said, all we've done is read out his facts of his goal ratio and then his money. We're in a position with our football club where we have to worry about how much money we pay people. The days are gone of just going, yeah, come to us, we'll give you 130 grand a week. If he's on 115 grand a week, that's too much for Everton. For that kind of money, we need 25 goals a week.
A week?
Exactly, a week. Not just a season.
25 goals a game.
Right? No, we need 20 goals a season guaranteed for that kind of wages. We can't afford that. If he comes for 70 grand a week or something, sound. But no one's disrespecting him. But his numbers aren't amazing. That's just facts. And he played for it. He couldn't get in a team.
Is that Iheanacho?
He's a lovely finisher. Don't get me wrong. I don't know. Don't know.
Be.
I haven't really forgiven him for scoring a goal that was offside in the 95th minute, and VAR went, "Oh, go ahead."
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Let him have
agree,
it.
Yeah.
And that poor. I remember
celebrated.
Marco Silva's face that day. Looked like a little boy lost on the line in the 96 minutes. So I haven't quite forgiven for that. If we get him, I hope he comes in and smashes it. He did.
Was that the same game Michael Keane gave away a penalty for not looking at the ball?
Probably.
When he stood on the fella's foot by accident.
But VAR this thing he did, didn't he?
No, there was one that was given.
Brighton.
No, Brighton.
No, Brighton was given when he stood on the lad. Neither of them
Was
were
that
looking at the ball.
Brighton?
But
That was Holgate at Leicester.
was it? And it got
Was
thingy.
it?
Remember when he gave the pen against Pickford? Oh, was it Pickford? And then Ben Chilwell went down. He gave a pen, but then he looked at it, and I think it was that game.
Remember when the start of that season where the rule changed, where if it just hit your hand, it was a pen?
They were
And we got
amazing.
like 2 or 3 pens
I
straight
want
off the
that
way.
Yeah, I
Because of
want that.
Richarlison.
That's
Yeah,
got to
it
be
was
the
great.
rule. It's got to be the rule. Ned, if you pat your hand again, I'm going to throw my cup at you. Carl Peterson says, I love you guys on show, different class. I'd take any
Cheers,
at
boss.
show all day. Fair enough. Satoshi Corner says Patterson number 3 is wrong. You're absolutely
It is wrong.
Absolutely.
Tarkowski is wrong. His number.
Matthew Ranton says, fantastic videos we see on here. Come on, get it to 100k. Cheers, mate.
Stop whispering weird things. You sound like a satanic cult. Honestly.
Does a satanic cult have a sound?
Yeah, of course.
Does it?
It's all whispering.
Like,
And if you play it backwards, it says.
It says John Evans is signing for Everton. Or
Paul McCartney. is still alive.
why was that 2-5? That's what it says. You can hear that said.
What was that Johnny Evans thing?
It's because, and I can give you the fact.
Yeah, I need to
Go
know
ahead, give
this.
us some facts.
So basically-
spit some facts before we go.
Basically, because he's available on a free, he's been training with different clubs just to keep his fitness up. And apparently, he's coming into. He's in Finch Farm this week just training.
Like Johnny, lad.
A little bit like, didn't Begovic do that?
Evan, Johnny's coming in next week, lad. Probably him and Still Ryan are gonna have a I don't know a rap battle.
Probably-
I don't know
That's
what
lad.
they're
I'm
doing.
still Ryan on with Johnny Evans. Like.
The pace is still lying in that
Yeah,
video.
listen,
Leaving
I'll
some of
remember.
our
They're getting out
kids.
there with the Still gang and they're making dreams happen.
Hey,
That's
Still
all I
Ryan.
know.
I'm all
belter.
day with that.
Still,
I'm
I
all
know
day.
I know for me I wouldn't be able to complete a day of pre-season.
No,
with all that running.
you've got to give.
So
I've
fair
got to
play
give
to him.
Ryan massive credit.
No, he's a belter.
I think I could.
I
He's a
like him. He's
belter.
great.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
The full day?
Mate, I played 90 minutes last week. No worries.
Mm.
First time in 3 years, just knocked out.
Do you reckon you could do the gaffer day?
The gaffer day?
That's what this is today, isn't it?
It's
The
just
athletic
today.
reporter
not
that today is the
because
gaffer day.
This is a day for like proper fitness.
It's the greatest day to do gaffer day, though.
Yeah, it is.
It's
it is.
overcast.
nice out
and
there. I went
raining,
for a run
be
before,
good,
it was
be
lovely.
good.
How many injuries do we reckon?
Don't know. 7.
Dan
says he wants more likes. Hit the likes, over 1,000 watching. Hit the like button. Dan also says it's 41 degrees here in Spanish inland.
Jesus Christ.
It's not nice, like.
That's not
That's
good.
just
That's not
stupid.
good. That's not good.
No,
That
it's
is
not good,
just
that.
stupid.
Spanish inland.
Spanish Finland, Ned, yeah.
Spanish Finland. Yeah.
Basically, what
Yeah.
happened, Ned, was
You've got the IQ of a sausage roll.
1923, Spain invaded Finland and took
that
a little
what it
bit of
is?
it. Yeah,
Be called Spinland, wouldn't it?
yeah.
Professor Voltage, Iosi Perez has already signed for the Spanish club. The other, hasn't he? In fact, didn't he score against Man U last season? Hasn't he gone somewhere else in Spain? So yeah.
Why were people wanting Iosi Perez, really? Yeah.
Jane, yes, it is sugar free. Elliot says best fan channel in the world. Congratulations on the 80k. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much.
Ned's going to buy a celebratory sausage roll.
You go in the shop?
Everton Clip says, Ped, alright, Ped. Just want to say something a bit deep. I don't know if you heard, but my dad passed away at the start of the year. I remember every single morning he'd go down and have his on the telly. Just want to say thank you for everything. For your people. That's right. Nice one.
Nice. That's just sad to hear, isn't it? But I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad he watched us
Mm.
and enjoyed us. And that's for all of us, not just clearly me, obviously.
Yeah. Sad, mate. Hope you're alright. Nice, last one.
That telly's gone off, you know. Yeah.
What's happening there? Howard 24 was a bit mad, says James.
That's the goalie number, though, wasn't
Who decides the numbers at the club? Someone's
it?
asking.
The players do.
Mm.
When they go in, they're given whatever's available.
Whatever's available, yeah.
But there's also no reason why you can't make those shirts available.
Not
Like,
having that Eto was just that bad of a choice that he picked 5. I can't have
just
it.
went-
I just not. He can't have done.
Am I playing in the team?
Was he? He was 40 something somewhere, wasn't he? Eto in his career. He was 99 and
he should have just been given whatever he wanted.
He should have just been given.
Should have been given Martinez's
He was
manager's
9
office,
at that time.
personally.
He was 9. Was
Kone?
Kone still
Aruna
there? In
Kone,
that
yeah.
season,
Yeah.
Kone was still there.
Did you play on the left wing?
Left wing. They both did.
Well, why did
I remember
why,
Samietu coming in for that Palace game after we just spanked Wolfsburg and Kevin De Bruyne. We played Palace at home and he played them on the left wing and we had Kelechi Iheanacho on the right wing and we got beat 3-2 at home in a game that we should have won 47-0. Oh, we loved it. He loved Tony off the left. Loved it.
Do you remember when we wore our third kit of the previous season on the first day of the season
amazing.
against Palace?
Amazing.
Because we
The
had
white
to release
kit.
our away kit.
But that really should, we really should do that. We should have a kit for 2 years.
That isn't having Brentford. Is it Brentford
have
have just
decided
done that?
to do that, yeah. We
For
should
the
have
home
done it.
kit, yeah.
But yeah, we went to Palace and we didn't have the right away kit, so we wore one that was...
Moise Keane made his
Yeah, Moise
debut
Keane
in
was
the
like
last
that.
season's kit.
That's why, they reckon that's why Gabamon decided to get injured
I'm not having
for
this.
away games.
Don't even get a new
You
kit.
don't get a new kit.
What do you mean for away games? You got injured for home games as well?
That's unconfirmed, by the way. That was just... That's what they say. Luke Doran says Virginia wore number 12 against Nyon.
Yeah, but that was...
Is he our new number
will
2?
he be our number 12 then, won't he?
The
Gareth
by where
Hughes-
20.
Gareth Hughes says, you saying yesterday Ned should sing a song when we sign a new player like Boniface. He had me singing Boniface to the tune of Lady Gaga's Poker Face all night. Still stuck on my head today, and it actually works. Imagine Ned.
Go full
If we got
AFTV by the stadium.
He is, that's what we're going to do.
That's what he's doing, mate. Can we my. Oh, he's Victor Boniface. That's what Ned's going to be doing. Moonwalking and everything.
the truth.
With a full kit on. Shinnies,
Full-
captain's armband.
Does he have to wear shin?
He's just got to wear shinnies, yeah. He has to wear. If he's,
He has to
wearing,
wear
if he's
shinnies.
wearing socks,
Problem is, what happens
he's got to
is,
wear shinnies.
because you've
He
never
might
seen
be
him play
called upon.
footy, he tends to run into people.
Incredible. Like, we're going because we're going live again in 5 minutes on More Than a Game channel. Put the link in the description. There should be loads of links in this description. Ned, why do you hate it? Why do you hate it, Ned? Lazy. Stu, happy birthday, mate. Have a good day. Get over to More Than a Game now. We'll be discussing everything else that's going on in the world of football. Get over, subscribe and like over there, and we'll be live in 5 minutes. See you in a minute.
Au revoir.
Hey, you. Be good.